Welcome back. It is Out of Market Baseball here again. You have Clinton. I got Cory with me.
Here
You
it
can
is.
find us at OOM Baseball, at Cory J. Satoon, and at Clinton C. Patrick. Man, it has been an interesting past couple of days. We've got injuries. We've got new prospect lists out. We got Jack being called up. We got a lot to get into. But first, I've been really on the Diamondbacks here lately because they've had a ton of missed opportunities. We've talked, over and over again about runners in scoring position and having those missed opportunities. Well, Cory, I had a missed opportunity this week. So, wife went on a work trip to Atlanta.
There you go.
And where are the Diamondbacks at tonight?
Don't say it.
They're in Atlanta.
Mm.
Guess what stadium we have not crossed off our list?
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
man.
We have not crossed that Truist Park off our list yet. So not only do the Diamondbacks have missed opportunities, but apparently my family's got them too. So don't feel
Well,
bad.
you know what? A true fan would, live vicariously and also, live like his team. So no shade, but yeah, that is one of the few stadiums I've been to, and it's beautiful out there. So you definitely need to next year, I guess. Well, it probably won't happen again for forever. So, man, that is tough because it's
I
like all
know.
the stars aligned.
I know.
Absolutely.
And we just missed it.
Just
But
straight missed it.
into some positive news. Jack Caglione
Whoop,
was
whoop.
called up, and not only was he called up, but he was given the DH role and stuck in the 6 hole.
Not bad.
Yeah, they were not playing around. He gets up to bat, and he actually put a decent swing on it. Not the hardest hit ball. I think it was upper 90s exit velocity, but man, Cardinals Victor Scott III just made a
Got up on it.
above average jump to go out there and go get it. I think it had like a 330 expected batting average, but still, like heck of a play. And minor leaguers aren't making that play. So
That's
welcome to the big leagues, buddy.
that's right. And even though he's 0 for 3, the Royals were down 7-2 and have come back and they're winning 10-7 right now. So I'd like to think that, just having him on the team, everybody's a little bit
Well,
more
absolutely,
excited. So I mean,
absolutely.
who couldn't be? But yeah, he's been playing some outfield, I think, leading up to this, because obviously you got uh Pasquantino, you got Salvador Perez that are going to be in the DH first base, some catching for Salvi, but he doesn't do that nearly as much as he used to. So yeah, it's good to see them make some space for him.
He actually now has the top exit velocity for the game at 112.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
was just
got he
pulling it up
got
to
got a
see.
double in the 5th.
Dude, that's
So
crazy. And I'm looking at these bat speed swings. He's got an 84 mile per hour swing, which is
it's
pretty.
insane, dude.
That's
I mean,
that's that's something, dude. That's letting loose.
it is, it is, it is. So apparently he's now 1 for 4. Uh, Now that he's actually got a hit in the 5th inning, and
Okay, just got one.
if you took the over in that game, you're going to bed early.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're feeling good
So,
about it.
well,
So
he's not the only prospect that has gotten the call. Long awaited,
your boy.
injury
Yep.
ridden Ronnie Mauricio. Man, I've been waiting on this guy. I've been following him through the minor leagues, just tearing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And actually did fairly well when he came up. I think it was 2 years ago, because I think he missed almost all of last year.
Yeah, he did. Well,
Um,
he didn't play in the majors any last year. He might not have played in the minors with that bad,
yeah,
knee injury. So
but he's getting the call up. I don't know all the details of when he's supposed to join the team.
mm-hmm.
You got any information on that or no?
No, I haven't seen exactly when. It reminds me of Caglione. I got excited. It's like, oh, Caglione's up, and then they didn't have a game the next day. I was like, okay, that's just rude. But yeah, I don't know when Mauricio, if he's playing tonight or not. So, guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm
Trying to
excited because
see.
he's still got a lot of upside, power, speed guy, still pretty young. So hopefully he's healthy. He was just casually hitting 500 in AAA. So
Oh, geez.
that's a good way to get called up, I think.
It,
So you got
well,
you got
it
one guy
it
hit what
is,
6 home
but
runs in 10 games, and the other hit 500.
he's only getting the call up because Vientos got hurt last night in the Dodger game. So a little bit of you know sour news,
Yeah.
with one of the leading guys for the Mets. But man, I don't know if they're going to miss anything with Mauricio stepping in. So um, super excited for him. Super excited to see how he's going to do. What else we got, man?
We got not one, not two, but a triple dongaroo. Oh, that rhymed, and I didn't even know where I was going with that. But Kerry Carpenter, who's I've always just enjoyed. He's just kind of a get out there and slug the ball type of guy. Crushes the left, or excuse me, crushes righties out there. But yeah, first triple dong since Victor Martinez, I think, which is a ways back for you Detroit Tiger fans out there, and it kind of helped right the ship a little bit. Not that he was having a bad year, but after that, he's got his WRC plus, which is 131, so it's 31% better than the average player. That'll come down a little bit after today's game. He has 0 for 2, but yeah, that was it's always fun. It's kind of a quirky thing, and you never really know how it happens or the way it goes, but that is the beauty of baseball. You just kind of celebrate it when it does happen and just enjoy it. So it was pretty cool to see that. Man, other than that, man, it feels quick to get right into the homers, but are you ready? You got something else?
Well, I mean, cue up the clip from Monsters Inc. where they're the kids lost and the news anchor is like, it now it is my professional opinion
Mm,
that now is the time to panic.
That's right.
And so, I mean, it looks like you're turning the tide this weekend. It was not good for the Diamondbacks, and then Burns gets out there and he's throwing it lights out. And then all of a sudden you see the base hit given up to uh Abrams. I think it was Abrams that he was battling, and he immediately waves over, and you see him say some dirty words, and I think John Boy's already broken this
Broke
down,
most of it, yeah.
and yeah, he's broken most of it. A couple of different camera angles. I think he tells Perdomo, "It's my elbow." He gets out there, Trainer and Torre out there, and he's like, "Hey, my elbow, it's gone. I've seen it's gone. I've seen it's dead." And he actually answered some questions to the reporters at the end of the game, which I didn't expect. And he said it was more of tightness, and he just decided to shut it down. Who knows? But I did read today, they're going for a second opinion on Thursday and Friday, and they're going to see the Dodgers doctor, who is notorious for that's the guy you call when you need surgery. And so it's like not a good thing.
Is it more so
So,
whenever it's a pitcher for the rival? No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to
well, I mean,
question his
and you
craft.
got to remember he's a Scott Boras client, so he's gonna have some heavy thoughts on how he should be treated as a player. So, I mean, I'm hoping it's just something like Puck, where he's out a couple of months and rehabs and he can come back for the stretch. But it's like, man, if we weren't sellers, we are now. And of course, I say that, and then Gallen and Cattell and Corbin Carroll go out there tonight against the Braves and just put up on a whooping.
I was about to say, man, you
Just took
shouldn't have
Spencer
anything
Strider and
negative.
said, "See ya."
Yeah,
So
dude.
who knows? We'll see what happens with Burns. I don't know that it's time to fully hit the panic button yet. And just sell, sell, sell. My guess is Hazen is going to use this next 2 weeks coming up throughout the month of June, see how they fare in June, get to the All-Star break, and then start looking at how the team is performing or after the All-Star break. Once we get to that point, you got to have a decision made. And are you gonna offload Shelby? Are you gonna look at moving Gallen if he's throwing better? Those kind of pieces that you at least need to see about getting something more than a compensatory pick back because you could make them a qualifying offer and they could deny it and all that kind of stuff. So I know it was a lot for the Homer update, but I mean, it was a roller coaster ride the past 24 hours.
Yeah, no, that is rough, and like I said, hopefully we get a little more detail on Burns and see what it is, and it could just be something middling and maybe not too terrible. As far as my homer hat, I mean, the Red Sox are playing right now. They just committed their third error in the top of the 10th, so now it's first and third with nobody out. That one's on the pitcher, but yeah, out hitting the Angels. Pretty good walkout strikeout ratio, and just can't get nothing done. 1 for 10 with the old runners in scoring position. So we'll see. But other than that, yeah, it's another similar to yours. Like, it kind of felt like, okay, you took 2 of 3 over the weekend. You thought, all right, maybe we can turn this into something, make it, make it whatever it needs to be. And then just nothing. Sorry if that was loud over the microphone there, but just terrible situation. So I don't know what to say about it. Uh, you've got 3 of the worst, clutchiest hitters going in the lineup, most of the time. So honestly, players are just got to show up. It's not like Roman Anthony's going to come in and he's going to fix this team so much that the pitchers stop sucking, so they've got a lot of issues they've got to do. So I don't know. That's it, man. It's just pain. So
It is a lot of pain, especially with the year that Devers is logging in. I mean, he's leading. He's top 5 in a lot of statistical categories, and to have the injuries that have happened around him, and for all the woes that the Diamondback bullpen has had and their pitching staff, Red Sox seem to have had it a little bit worse, and so it's just they shouldn't be under 500. They really shouldn't. It's a
no.
lot of self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, a lot of
Um,
close games. I mean, that's what this one will probably end up being, unless they just destroy us as the bases are loaded in the 10th. But it's just like, yeah, a lot of close games that you would think you could hammer out at least 40 or 50% of them, and just they haven't been. We'll see, but you are the company that you keep, and then they seem to be just impossible to get anything going. So um, I know we just touched on Burns' injury. Another one, Luke Weaver is out for the Yankees. That's kind of a strange one. I think he said he was warming up and he felt something in his hamstring, and now they reported he'll probably be out 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring injury. So that is unfortunate there. Good thing for the Yankees, Devin Williams has been throwing the ball pretty well, and I think is it Fernando Cruz, I think, is coming back pretty soon as well. So Luke Weaver has just been outstanding since he's joined the Yankees and gotten in that bullpen. So he's no easy piece to live without, but hopefully, the way that they've been kind of throwing on that back end, that they could probably survive these next few weeks without him.
yeah, possibly. Obviously, their biggest pickup, Devin Williams, obviously
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been able to solidify the role that they obviously signed him to. Luke Weaver was obviously like, you know what, you go sign who you want. This is my role. I'm going to take it. Maybe this gives a little fire under Devin Williams and actually, comes out and decides that he wants to pitch a little bit better. So who knows? It's always next man up. That's the great thing about baseball. And, I hate it for my family members that, that
Right.
are the Yankee fans and actually, have a winning record currently. Uh, so we'll see. We'll see if it has any long term side effects. But let's get into like a believe it or not. I saw a little post. You obviously know that I'm kind of big into the baseball cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how old this post is, to be honest. I didn't review it, but it was kind of getting to there's a lot of scalpers that are going out there as soon as product hits the shelves and taking it from the kids and all this other stuff. And me and my son are like really, really big into it. And it's sad to see, when it's guys just, buying the product just to try to turn around and sell it for a profit.
Yeah.
But they were trying to sneak out Roman Anthony from the clubhouse,
That's all
and
that.
they stuffed him into a laundry basket, and you see the camera and you go outside, and I mean, I'm 35 years old, but it's 30, 40, 50-year-old men with binders,
Right.
waiting there for Roman Anthony to try to get signatures and everything. And it's like, and I don't even think I saw a kid in sight. And it's like, is this what the hobby has come to? Like, we've got so many guys like the home run chaser and trying to just ruin it for everybody else, where they just see it as somewhere that they can make money. They're
Right.
not there because they like the player. They're not there because they like the team or anything like that. It's just, hey man, if I go do this and I get 40 autographs, I can sell them all at $100 a pop and whatever. And it's like, man, that's not what it was intended for. Um, it was something I really couldn't believe when I saw it. I know it's out there. Um, but I mean, it's like I got a buddy that texted me. He's like, hey man, Target hit a restock. Do you want something for your son's birthday? And I was like, nah, I'll go later this evening. I'll go see what they got, take him and see what and by the time I got off of work and got over there, they were cleaned out. And talked to some of the people there, and they were like, oh man, one guy came in and bought the whole shelf. It's just like, okay.
Right.
But anyway,
Yeah.
just a little
And you get
little
these
quick.
local card shops too that'll buy it and just to go price it up 20-30%, and then
Yeah,
they're
and
the only one in town. So
yeah, and I hope that's not happening with our little local card shop. Uh, I don't think they're doing that because they get a pretty solid allocation. Um, but I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
yeah.
I tell you what, we got a little bit of time. You want to go over our predictions for team rankings now that we're a third of the way through the year,
Oh, you got
and
them
kind of
up.
see. I got them up. So let's. I'm gonna
So our
pull up
team
the.
rankings, I'm guessing, just before the season start is what
Yeah,
we're
this was
doing.
so. This was very early.
Okay.
Show number dos. So
Dose.
very
Oh,
very early on in our amateur career.
I'm a
Um,
completely different person than I was back then. You know what I'm saying?
so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull up the MLB standings currently, and I'm gonna go to the wild card standings. And because I don't really want to follow like Jeff Passan or anything or anybody like that. But let me see here if I can get. And of course, it's not going to give me the wild card standings.
You gotta want it. You got to
I
find it.
know, I know. I said I wasn't going to do it, but let's just we're going to go into the MLB power rankings that were released 2 days ago. So we'll use their power rankings. But I got our link up here, and it's not. I don't want to say it's like completely off the wall, but there were some I think we definitely missed on. So kind of starting off, we've got a lead off of the Tigers. Currently,
Okay.
MLB.com has the Tigers being the number one overall power ranking. We had the Tigers down around 9. Or no, 1, 2, 15. Sorry. We had them down at 15.
Well, yeah, but they playing way better than I thought they would. So come on.
So, and I'm not going to obviously Dodgers. Another big one that I think we missed on was the Cubs. So we had the Cubs in the bottom 5. Cubs are playing lights out. Pitching staff is doing great. PCA is better than anything that we could have thought. We knew he was. I knew he was going to be good. I didn't think he was going to be that good.
And their
Uh,
bullpen is, after being pretty terrible to start the season, I think over the last month or so, they've been maybe the best bullpen in baseball. So they're just firing on all cylinders. I wonder what that feels like as a fan to be
I
firing on
know
all
to
cylinders. But
to
kudos
be like
Cubs.
surprised. You gotta go into the season with
Right.
like a little bit of optimistic, but like you're like, man, maybe we compete for the title, but like
Hmm.
just get us 83, 84 wins, and it'll feel all right. And and they're on pace to smash that. So, um,
Absolutely.
then we go down. We got Phillies, Mets. I think we kind of knew what they were capable of. Yankees, obviously, Padres, but then we get to the Cardinals. So we got the St. Louis Cardinals, and we had them actually below the Cubs. They are probably the biggest surprise for me, and I don't I don't know if I can point to one thing and say that the Cardinals are pitching lights out and that's just carrying them. They're pitching, they're playing great defense. They are being very aggressive on the base pass. They are hitting the ball. Bullpen's not giving up a whole lot. I mean, you got any ideas as to what the Cardinals are putting together, or are they just playing solid baseball all around? Is it that simple?
Yeah, I think they just kind of gotten back to the old Cardinal way and just are just kind of, yeah, just solid at everything. I will say maybe the only thing that sort of kind of sticks out is they've been very healthy. I think you and I talked about this last week after the show that like the Dodgers have like $100 million on the injury list and like the
Well, like
Cardinals
Shohei
have.
can do that himself.
Well, he's only halfway on the IL, but anyway, I don't know. I don't know how he factored in there. I ain't gonna lie, but I would say I saw the Cardinals had like less than 1 million. So it was like it, some of that's just being fortunate, but yeah, just like they've had players just come around and do their thing, and then just some good health and just playing all around, like you said, defense, speed. Sometimes those things can get overlooked. Just getting on base and making causing havoc out there. Didn't save them so much this game, but we saw it with Victor Scott taking away what looked like could have been a double for Cag's first hit. So yeah, just doing all the good things right now. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at their schedule right now on Fangraphs, and I'm pointing to I just counted 10 wins where their win probability to start the game was below 45%, 42%, 45%, 42, 42, 43, 46, and so they're winning games that they shouldn't be winning, and that's where they're really turning the page. I mean, they went out and Sonny Gray shoved against Paul Skeens. They won 5-3. They get out there, Matthew Liberatore, which he has been just lights out. Shoved against Zach Wheeler. Palante went out there and only gave up a couple of runs against Atlanta back in April. I mean, so you got guys that I mean, they're just playing baseball. And it's kind of satisfying to see that, hey, you don't have to go and sign, hundreds and, $1 million contracts and be successful. So, I mean, we're only, a third of the way through the season, so we still got a lot to play, but they are definitely probably my biggest surprise team.
No
Um,
doubt. I was just looking at their ninth. Their hitters are ninth in WAR, which includes fielding, and then I think they said their pitching was 12th, and yeah, and then on top of that, their fielding is top three. The irony is Boston is like within one spot of them on every one of those, and it feels completely opposite. And the win loss record is opposite. But oh man, what can you do about that? But yeah, that's been a big surprise. You got any other surprises popped up on
that
there?
I
Or?
think that was like the biggest ones. It's really that that NL Central. The
Yeah.
Cubs, the Cardinals, Braves. Obviously they came out, didn't win a game until was it game 11, game 12, and they're still struggling, but they're injury prone. They're down there at 20. I think we had them at like 4 or 5
Hmm.
but they got Acuna back, and then just their offense took off.
Right.
Um, but then they ran into Zach Gallen threw way better tonight. He was actually filling up the strike zone tonight. So, um, not the Zach Gallen that was been beaten up the past couple of games.
Well, they
Um,
just ran into the two most enigmatic teams and our teams, back to back series here. So I mean,
yeah,
they of course they've slowed down there, of all things. But yeah, I could see them still righting the ship. They still have tons of talent there. So I mean, it would be nothing to see them go and win 8 of 10 or 10 of 12 and just get themselves back in there. But what's playing against them is that just New York and Philly has said, you know what, we're playing like we're supposed to, and
yeah.
they've got this big lead going into it, against those guys. So,
And then the probably the biggest faller would be Baltimore. I mean,
oh God, yeah,
yeah, I mean, nothing is going right in Baltimore. Pitching's not pitching. Defense can't stop a beach ball, and the hitters they look lost all the time. They're young guys. Their youth is showing, and that's not what I thought was going to happen. I thought Westberg, Kirkstead, even Holiday. I thought Holiday would try to figure it out, and
And he's come
none
around a
of
little bit,
them.
yeah.
The past week or two, he's come a little bit ever since Dad and brother kind of were in the stands the other day. But
Well,
even Colton Cowser, I think, isn't having as good
probably
of a year.
the biggest problem with them is that Henderson has been slow coming into it, and then Rushman has just been not like with the bat has been borderline kind of just really bad even as a catcher, just over maybe like the last calendar year or so. So I guess Gunnar Henderson's starting to pick it back up, but still you're talking about a 114 WRC plus where they would expect it, coming off a year with 160, you thought he would at least be a little bit higher than that. So yeah, it's kind of like your two cornerstones that you thought for sure, oh, these guys are established and they're ready to go, have
Well,
definitely been slow out of the gate. So
you got Emmanuel Rivera, and now granted he hasn't played every game. He's kind of a rotational guy, but he's batting 246, and he's like top 5 in their batting average for their lineup.
yeah,
You know,
not good.
it's not. It's not. They're starting to get Ryan O'Hearn a lot more swings. We talked about him recently. He's starting to play pretty good, pretty good baseball.
And look, just
Uh,
to prove my point with Rushman over the last calendar year, hitting 215, 305, 338.
oof,
Yeah.
338. Ah, that hurts.
Yeah, I mean a
That
122
means the base
ISO is
hits are
fast.
basically just base hit dinkers.
Right. And it's still like
Oh,
walking 11%, striking out 16. Like that all looks good, but just no pop. And I know he had that kind of wrist or forearm injury at some point last year, but I don't know. It's weird, and it's kind of funnily because I mean I think the Baltimore played the first game of the season, and I think he hit a home run, like if I remember correctly. So it was like, yeah, you thought like, oh yeah, this is Rushman. He's gonna be back. He's ready to go for it. And he's just been slow again. So I don't know. Hopefully he gets himself right, but not
yeah.
yet.
Well, that's kind of the big players in the power rankings. Everyone else were kind of there, but those are some really big misses. And so,
Absolutely,
4 or 5 misses out of 30. Okay,
it's
all
not bad.
right. It'll get
Well,
you in the Hall of Fame for baseball.
everybody else is updating these bad boys every week, so they don't know nothing either. Let's go
They
back and
don't.
see everybody else first one, but I've
All
got
right,
I've got me one. If we're going to talk about player of the year, of the month, of the weekend, this is more a player of the year and of the month, but it's Randy Rodriguez, and I'll give everybody a moment to Google who is Randy Rodriguez. He plays for the
Randy
Giants.
Rodriguez.
Randy, sorry.
Randy.
This guy is a reliever for the Giants, 25 years old. He is leading the league in strikeout minus walk rate, which is something I always like to look at just as like a pure domination in and out of the zone. So he's striking out almost 13. He's walking one batter. And I saw this on Twitter, so I had to bring it up. He completed the month of May with a 0 ERA.
How many
Nothing.
starts?
He's a reliever, but still,
Well,
that's
I
pretty
guess I was leading
incredible.
like how many innings is he throwing?
How many innings? I had to go look at real fast, but still like a substantial enough amount. 13 innings over 12 games, 0 ERA, man.
I mean, 12 appearances for a reliever and a 0 ERA. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
That's not pretty impressive. That's very impressive.
Right. I mean, there's a guy out in Seattle who started the season with like double that. So I'm not saying like it's impossible, but yeah, just kind of funnily that just this guy kind of unheralded, kind of unheard of, just comes out. Hey, I'm the bomb over here, and he's just getting it
Am I
done.
reading this? He's got a 39% K rate.
Strikeout percent, yeah. So he's
Whew.
striking out almost 40% of the people he is facing.
With a 3% walk rate.
Yeah, that's like prime Kimbrel, but with better control, you know?
Man. And
But
when you're getting you're a third of the season, third of the way through the season, and you're already at a 1.1 WAR as a reliever. I mean, that's that just shows you how clutch he has been for this Giants team that is heavily competing for an NL West division title.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And gives them just like a incredibly deep bullpen out there. So not bad. Not bad at all. Did you have anybody that's been catching your eye this last
Well,
week or so?
I hate to go with the homer pick, but somebody that Corbin Carroll seems to have figured it out after batting. I think he was like 200 since May 1st, batting right close to 200 since May 1st. Um, 2 home runs tonight, home run over the weekend. A lot of high exit velocities the past couple of games.
Hmm.
So it's good to see that he's kind of turning the page. I mean, month of May he batted 214, 296, 464, 760, and he's done nothing but. I mean, he had 3 hits today, a couple home run against the Nationals, 2 home runs against the Nationals. So I'm hoping he kind of turns the page. So he's definitely my pick for the week.
There you go.
Definitely not talking about month or of the year, but definitely the pick for the week right now. Actually, I was gonna swap out. The jersey and put the Gallon jersey up because he went out there and did his job today. But then Corbin hit the second home run. I was like, all right,
Ooh,
I'm
he's,
I'm
he's
gonna I'm gonna leave Corbin up there, and we'll see if Gallon gets to be put up next week after his next start.
Look, I had somebody else I was going to choose. The most improbable of improbabilities. I was going to choose a pitcher for the 10-50 Colorado Rockies. Only because I saw that Herman Marquez over the last week is tied for the lead in pitcher war. And it's only 0.5, but dude's pitching in Coors Field some of these situations. But uh thought that was pretty fun. Actually, the top three guys are all in the NL West, and Giants, Colorado, and San Diego Padres leading the way. So I
There's not
thought,
a
man,
Diamondback on that list
not a Diamondback, not at the top, man. Not at the top. Maybe after
for pitching,
today. Yeah.
not for pitching.
Do you think somebody snuck in there? No, but I
No,
I almost did it just for the name factor, but I decided, you know what, Randy Rodriguez, that's a good story. I'll go with that. Moving on to series to watch. I had to go a little bit homer here, Boston at New York, just because the Red Sox just lost in a gut wrenching time just a few minutes ago. At this point, I think we're already just in the can we spoil anything for the Yankees? Can we help get them out of the, you know, running for the number one seed? That's all it feels like we can accomplish at this point. I think we'll have Crochet going. I fully expect them to just get absolutely destroyed by this Yankees team. Just over. Like what the Yankees did to the Brewers when they just hit like 17 home runs in a series. I could see that happening again. That's how pessimistic I am about the situation. But it'll be entertaining. Look, once I've got my mind in the right spot, that we're probably not going to win. After that, everything else, I'm just going to live with. So.
it'll be all right, man. There's only room for one of us to be pessimistic here, so
Oh, you got to
I'll
let me
I'll
have a seat at it
I'll
once in a
yeah,
while.
I'll divert to you. Man, my series after picking picking the snoozer of the series that I
Yeah, how much
watched
of
this
that did you
weekend.
watch?
I did watch 2 games and then I watched the recap on the third.
There you go.
It was rough. Pitching wasn't very good. There was no offense in game 1. Game 2 was a little bit more uh, you know, interesting. But the series I'm going with this weekend is a team that's been hot all year, and then one that is just a buzzsaw right now, and that's going to be Chicago Cubs going to Washington. Washington obviously just ran through and set records against the Diamondbacks, but that was not because, in my opinion, the Diamondbacks were playing bad, but the Nats are on a huge upswing right now. They are playing very, very good baseball. They got Abrams running through. I mean, James Woods is just I can't say enough good things about that baseball player. He is just he is just a freak in the most positive sense of the way. I mean, he's just been very, very good, very fun to watch. I mean, then you got uh, the veterans that slide in there, and I can see his name, I can see his face. Nathaniel Lowe, he's just doing quietly what he needs to do, playing solid defense at first, and so they're going into a team that does nothing but know how to put runs on the board, and it's if the Nats give up 7 runs a game, it's not even going to be close. If their pitching staff and their bullpen do what they've been doing all year prior to the Diamondback series, they're going to get run through. Now, if that pitching staff solidifies and Chafin and that back end, that bullpen actually can solidify, I think that bullpen had like a 3.7 ERA against the Diamondbacks in the 3-game series. If they can do that against the Nats or against the Cubs, I'm sorry, it's going to be a fun series to watch. So that's mine for this week. I didn't check probable pitchers, but at this rate, with how the Nats have been pitching, I don't think it matters. I think it's whoever's pitching's got to pitch good. They've got to hit the ball and take the overs. Take the overs in those games.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend of baseball to roll it out. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch as much because my family's coming into town, so I'm going to be sneaking. I know,
Boo.
dude. I'm gonna play them that part of the episode where you boo them, actually, and then I'm gonna record their reaction and send it to you so you feel bad. Um, but I'll have to slip out and check in on that and see what's the happening going on there. Yeah, you got me thinking like, I wonder who's going to line up for the Yankees and the Red Sox, but we'll save that for another sad day. But one thing I did want to call out, just a little shout out to softball World Series starting tomorrow,
Dude,
Texas and Texas Tech. Man, Texas Tech, kudos to you.
man.
First of all, almost shame on you, but
I
that
mean,
girl,
that girl threw lights out until one pitch.
yeah,
She gave up one pitch. Oklahoma made her pay for it. But golly, that
it
was
was
fun to
great.
watch.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Kennedy is her last name. The pitcher, she has basically, I think she's thrown every pitch for them since regionals, and might throw every pitch in the World Series, which would be just incredible if she was the starting pitcher, for a complete playoff run. Would be absolutely
Well,
unheard of. But
yeah, and a lot of people don't know is like, oh well, how is that possible? Well, obviously the pitching motion for a softball player
mhm,
is way more natural
right.
than the big bad baseball players and the way we throw, because we're just we're men, we're stupid. But so yeah, it's been very fun to watch. Not only the college, not only the softball, but um, the collegiate World Series being baseball. It was fun kind of watching the SEC kind of get handed to them. They had 13 teams get in, 9 got ejected.
Yeah,
But
not a good series for high seeds. They got whipped
no,
up pretty good. But no, I just want to go like this girl was 30-5 and led the nation with a 0.89 ERA, helping Texas Tech
and
win their first Big 12 regular season championship. And I think they said
this is
this
the
is,
first. This is their first appearance, and she was the key.
yeah,
If you go back and look, she signed an
transferred.
unprecedented NIL deal. I think she got $1 million as a softball player, which, I mean, even for Texas Tech, $1 million to a softball player is huge. And so the fact that he followed, like he's like, man, if I get her, we can do it. And they put pieces around her. They put an offense, good defense behind her, and they're rolling.
Yeah, man. Her highlights and award page on her Wikipedia is like, you got to keep scrolling to get through it all. It's just incredible. So I just wanted to celebrate that. Actually, I've been kind of putting it on here and there at the house, and my wife came in and she not uninterested, but wasn't like really paying attention. And I was like explaining to her like what happened with OU and like trying to explain how they haven't been like shut out in like 6 years and doing all this crazy stuff. And she was like buying into it and got to see like the walk off and yeah, she's like, okay, when's it start tomorrow? Okay, let's be ready for it. So it's going to be an exciting time. So hey, I might enjoy that more than watching the Red Sox play the rest of this week. So I might as well switch it on over. But just wanted to give some love out there to the softball community because it's a great game, a great product, and just seeing these gals go out there and just compete at such a high level is impressive. Knowing that I would absolutely roll over and die, if I ever got on the field with them. So
Oh, it's
it's not
completely
even close.
different. No,
Yeah,
it's not even close. And if you want to know how hard it is, go just Google Jenny Finch strikes out MLB players,
that's right.
and it's they're only throwing 70 miles an hour, but that's equivalent to about 98, 99. And it's very very hard the way they can throw drop balls and rise fastballs. It's insane.
They throw some of those
So
drop balls, and it's almost like a glitch. Like I think I
yeah,
had to like quickly, do like the quick blinking. Like what did I just miss? Because it swear it just looks like it just stops moving and it just jumps ahead immediately. So
yeah,
it's been fun.
there is one video that if you have not seen it, you need to go look it up. I believe it was UCLA pitcher. A piece of dirt came off her cleat,
Oh yeah,
and the slow
that was
motion
so
camera
crazy.
actually caught the softball, and it almost looks like a slider from a baseball with the rotation that it was going, but it obliterates this piece of dirt. And it was probably the coolest video I've seen in a long time for a baseball softball style video. It was just it was one of those things that I just couldn't stop rewatching it.
Yeah, just the improbability of dirt like somehow getting kicked up in front of the ball and hitting it just at the right angle is just like
Randy Johnson hitting a bird. I
right,
mean,
just one in a million.
that's the vibe it gave. So, um, speaking of before we sign off, are your
Uh,
Red Sox getting the same treatment that the Dodgers and Yankees got this past weekend? Are they getting Apple TV on Friday night, and then are they getting Fox on Saturday, and then ESPN Sunday night on Sunday?
probably not. They did get a Apple TV and Apple, yeah, TV game over the weekend against the Braves. But yeah, they're not getting the full shebang. Or if they do, it's not because of them; it's because of the Yankees. Well, let's see.
I do know they have ESPN Sunday Night Baseball on Sunday,
And
but
it looks like Friday they have MLB Network, which I guess is kind of a prime timey thing. And then they're on
yeah,
Fox Saturday. So yeah, they're
so
sort of
they
getting
did.
they're getting a
So
little
they
bit. But
did.
again, that's more name value than actual product that you want to watch on that end of the of the game. So anyway, we'll leave it there. We've boohooed enough about our boohoos. So again, this is Cory. I'm up here with Clinton, out here in North Louisiana, just talking baseball. Until next time, we will see you. This is Standout.
See ya.